Hey guys, Jimmy here with Leatherhead Reviews. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Today I'm going to review not so much the backpack itself, but the process of making the backpack. This backpack that you see here, I made it myself. And what I did is I went to my local Tandy, and they have classes that you could join. Some classes are free, some classes are not free. One day I seen their email. I signed up for the emails about their classes, and I seen a backpack class. So I thought that I would participate. Now the cost of that class was $160, but with that $160 you got to pick your own side of Montana sides. They have a Montana side, and they have a couple different colors. They have a black, a tan, and a brown. I got the brown. But what's cool about it is I got to choose what side that I wanted. And when you choose the leather, you're actually choosing a side, a whole side. And that's what you make your bag out of. So yeah, you want to put some extra time in, look at the sides, and make sure you got one that's pretty neat, and that does good and doesn't have too many things on it, scars or brands. But you know, you could be looking for that too as well. And I went through about 7 or 8 before I found the side that I wanted. So I mentioned the class was $160. Let me go ahead and I'm going to put this in front of the camera. Backpack class, and it's going to kind of, you can pause it and read over it about what the class contains and what it includes and things like that. So the class was from 11:30 to 4 p.m. It really wasn't 4 p.m. It was more like 2 or 1:32. And the backpack was not finished when I left, so I had to finish it up at home as well. But I'm gonna get into more in that in a little bit. So if you wanted to pause it, you can. I'm actually going to show you the other classes that they have as well. I'm gonna have to zoom back a little bit. So they have a kit together where you get a kit and you build it together. Basic tooling and carving. That's a pretty neat class, because if you're just starting out in leather work and you want to learn how to do some leather tooling, that's a nice little class to take. And my 10-year-old, 9 at the time, 10-year-old took that class with my wife Amber, and they enjoyed it. They had a pretty good time. And I'll show you real quick what they did before I go too far into the class and get sidetracked. But so they give you a template, and then you draw the template out on the leather, then you cut it out, and then you stamp it. So this was I think it was like an hour and a half, maybe 2-hour class. Lots of fun. It's good for all ages. I'd definitely recommend contacting your local Tandy and see what kind of classes they have. It is a good place to start out. So back to the backpack. Now, I've done a bit of leather work before, nothing as in like a whole bag, but I've done a lot of smalls like journals, things like that. Journals, wallets, keychains, coffee sleeves. But this is probably the biggest thing I've made so far was a backpack. And my instructor at Tandy there, her name was Maddie, and this is one of her designs. And it's kind of a simple backpack, nothing too fancy. I made it fancier. I double stitched all the way around. But back again to the class. The backpack itself, the price includes all of the buckles here, the D-ring here, all the hardware that you can see that's on the bag. It came with the class, except for the rivets. I added those myself. And so again, we're not talking about the design of the backpack, we're not talking about the quality of the backpack or anything like that. We're talking about my experience with Tandy Leather class. Also, you come away with a bit of scrap And as you can see, that's a pretty good amount of scrap. I just want to make sure that you guys are in camera. That you can do with and make whatever you want to at a later date. So, nice bit of scrap. But also what I liked about the class is that the class will teach you how to stitch, how to sew, how to use the pricking irons to make the holes, and then kind of start from a big hot half a side of leather and make a backpack when you're done with it. So it's start to finish. No, I can't say start to finish because we didn't finish in the class. So it was start to 3/4. And I already knew how to saddle stitch, but when making this bag, the instructor wanted to do I believe it's called a running stitch. I think it just to help speed up the class and things like that. So what we did first, and also, so I'll keep rambling on, she did give me instructions on the bag if I wanted to make another one at a later date. So I thought that was pretty cool of her. Instructions, dimensions, all that kind of thing. So I could make another one on my own because I have everything that was used for this class. Hardware included. Like I said, the bag itself was made inside out. So it was made inside out, and then you just reversed it that way. And the only part that I don't want to say I had a challenge with, but it was these corners right here, and that's the first time I've ever done something like this, make a box corner like that. And I did not do that in the class. I had to do that at home. It would have been nice to have done that in the class with the instructor, but I would say the bag was probably about maybe 60 to 75% done when I left. What I did do, you cut the straps, I glued them at home, and then they called for just gluing, but I wanted to go ahead and stitch them. So I stitched the straps, added some copper rivets in there. My neighbor's dog's barking. And yeah, so I think the bag turned out neat. Not so much review on the bag, but it is the experience of the Tandy Leather class. I definitely recommend, if you're looking to get into the leathercraft industry or just as a hobby like I do it, call up your local Tandy and ask them what kind of classes they have available. Get on a mailing list, and then yeah, go ahead and take some classes. They're lots of fun. Definitely handy. My daughter likes them. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got. I thought it was a neat enough experience to share with you guys. Now, I said that the price of the class is $160, and that included the side of leather. And the side of leather at the time of the class was $172. You can see it right there. So that was for the whole side. Now with Tandy's new low prices, I think the that hide is roughly around 158 to 160, 165. Not exactly sure what it is, but with that price of 160, you got all the hardware. You got one-on-one. I want to say one-on-one because I was the only one in the class, but it's open to a few people. So you got all the experience from the person that works at Tandy, and they show you how to start to finish a bag, and you make the cuts, and then yeah, that's what it turns out. It turns out as a nice little backpack. But yeah, let me show you. Let me have my daughter come up and she can kind of put it on her back just to see. It's not a huge backpack, but it is a neat little backpack. So it's not going to be something for me to be carrying around. But yeah, definitely my daughter's. So, Tandy Leather classes. Call up your local Tandy. By the way, I paid this out of my own pocket. I'm not sponsored by Tandy. So, this is just my experiences. The class was awesome. The class did have some drawbacks. I didn't like the fact that we did not finish the backpack. A lot of the backpack I had to finish on my own at home. Saddle stitched. I would have preferred to do that the inside of the bag, but we did a running stitch instead. I believe she said it was it goes by quicker. But yeah, anyways, pros and cons to everything. I had a fun time, learned new things, and took home a nice backpack and extra leather, and the ability to make this in the future. Anyways, guys, I'm Jimmy. This is my daughter Kaylee. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your likes and your views.